health and safety reasons, this location is temporarily not able to sell any consumable items.
Oh, welcome back, guys. I've been out for a minute. I had my college graduation a couple weeks ago, went on vacation for some time, but I'm back at it. Although I've been out, I've been scoping the scene and there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about and we're gonna get into it.
Some people are saying this lady took the mark of the beast.
I put a microchip in my arm, and it's the best thing ever. This chip is a powerhouse. It's got everything I need: a credit card, my ID, my medical info, and even my keys. And when it's time for groceries, you just tap your wrist and bam! Transaction done. It's like magic. In a medical emergency, it can save my life. Experts can easily identify me and my medical history. I feel like a sci-fi character, and I'm loving it.
My relationship with my bank and credit cards is still strong and healthy, so that's a big no for me.
So basically, you cannot get into the Whole Foods market in Washington, D.C. unless you scan your own QR code and they track everything you're doing. And this is the future of all grocery stores. So if you want more information on this, I'll get it to you, but this is the future of all grocery stores. I mean, I'm going to have to boycott Whole Foods.
Maybe Whole Foods should focus on ways they can lower their prices instead of worrying about what people are doing. I mean, you buy 2 or 3 products at Whole Foods, you're already at $40-50. That's crazy. So lately, there's been speculations of the CIA using birds or bird-like fixtures as surveillance cameras or drones, but this clip right here might be supporting that theory.
Again, this only works if you keep your eyes focused on the middle at the cross. And what will happen is you will start to see strange distortions on these faces in your peripheral vision. They will start to look monstrous, or they will look like cartoonish caricatures with features that are exaggerated, with big eyes or big jaws or big mouths. Some of you think this is a trick and that these images are distorted, but if you go back and watch it again, you will see they are only distorted in your peripheral vision. If you stop and look at the individual images, they're normal. That is called the flashed face distortion effect, and we actually don't know how it works. The video was made by Tangent Cognitive Labs and it went viral a long time ago. Like, obviously it has something to do with the fact that your peripheral vision is imperfect and your brain is trying to fill in details.
This guy might be onto something, but let me know if it actually worked for you.
Hey people, Saturday, December 28th. Welcome to the Dior Bag Retail Center headquarters operations. Take a look at this. This slows it down in the next 28 seconds. You'll see this is a Dior bag specialty in France. I love those guys. They're so stylish. Look at this. This really slows it down to just, you can see everything in this exotic Dior bag. Enjoy. Happy New Year's to everybody. Be safe and enjoy the Dior bags.
I don't think there's anything to enjoy because I think we're all still wondering where they came from and what's their purpose. Maybe except for the government, we're all in limbo.
That shit crazy,
get into the
bro.
house. I can't get home.
Frozen
I
doo
can't get
water.
home. I can't get in my building.
New York City in the
Oh,
Bronx.
they got.
A sewage pipe burst, bro. So people is literally in doo water, bro. Like what's going on in the Bronx? Like all that money,
Furniture is floating.
and we
in
in
that
doo
motherfucker.
water, frozen
That's
doo
not
water.
right.
Crazy.
Man, I'm in Florida and I'd rather deal with snakes and gators all day. I mean, frozen sewage water? You couldn't pay me enough for this.
This is William Rothschild's house. He just passed away in this house as a result of a fire. And apparently he's a member of the Rothschild banking family. This is about $1 million property, but it's dilapidated. And it is in Laurel Canyon on a street called Lookout Mountain. He was known as a hoarder. There's a lot of debris up there. You can see the fire damage if you look. The air is heavy. It smells awful. Like, that's a weird architectural feature for a garage. It's not a stately manner. And you can see there's some really beautiful homes right across the street. There's no information about this guy. There is a heavy energy here, I have to say. Every time I roll through Laurel Canyon, there's just kind of a heavy energy. I can't, there's a lot of weird shit has happened in these hills.
I get that he was a hoarder, but I'm curious to see how that house looked before the fire. I mean, that might be a clear example of having a lot of money and not knowing what to do with it.
Okay, what in the actual is going on here? This is a Five Below today. It literally says, for health and safety reasons, this location is temporarily not able to sell any consumable items. We apologize for the inconvenience. And so when I asked one of the workers what was really going on, all she could say was, it's going to be resolved soon and they're not allowed to discuss it. I was like, is it salmonella? Is it? And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, noted. Bottom line, I would not eat anything from Five Below. This is just shady to me, and I don't think their practices are ethical at this point.
There's been reports about many retail and food chains throughout the United States closing down many of their stores, but this Five Below situation looks a little bit different. FDA probably cracked that whip.
This is what happens when you flush your toilet. This experiment is wild. They put glow-in-the-dark dye into the toilet and then flushed it, put a measuring sensor up, and turned the lights off. Imagine still sitting there, you're bathing in your own beep. If this is not the case to close the toilet lid when flushing, I don't know what is, because your surroundings are not immune either. Toothbrush included. It's everywhere, guys. Everywhere.
Hopefully you guys weren't snacking at the time of that clip, but this got me looking at every toilet flush a lot different.
The following footage is from a woman named J. Rod in Memphis, Tennessee on December 7th, 2024. She was driving down the highway when they spot something completely unusual, what she's claiming to be a UFO being transported on the back of a trailer. Now, the shape does look like a UFO, but you'll have to ask yourself, is it really a UFO being transported this easily in daylight? But then it kind of makes sense. The easiest thing to do is hide in plain sight, right? Because we're going to do exactly what we're doing now, questioning what we're seeing. With all these drone sightings all over the country, especially centering around New Jersey, makes you wonder, has one been brought down? Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
That is a spaceship, like a... That is a... Tell me what else that could be. That's a spaceship. They found a spaceship. Look.
If this was me in the car driving behind that trailer, I don't care what errands I have to do for that day. I'm canceling everything. I'm following this thing as much as I can.
This is Captain Admiral Richard E. Byrd on the Today Show in 1955. National TV. Do you see it yet? Take a look. In the background is a huge, flat map staring us in the face on national TV. Because things were different back then, even at the UN. 1955, Admiral Byrd to Today's Show. Flat map.
I can see a picture like this being part of the government classified documents.
What did we find digging an outhouse from 170 years ago? You can see the house pictured here on this 1867 map. Just a foot under the surface, we started finding bottles. This bottle here is a wine bottle from around the turn of the century. Right off the bat, we found tons and tons of shards, including lots of beautiful blue china from the late 1800s. We also pulled out this incredibly ornate blue bottle. If you do a quick Google search on what blue was made out of in the 1800s, you might be surprised. Down at about 3 feet, we kept digging and we pulled out a pharmacy bottle. It actually had the name of the town we were digging in, so unfortunately we can't show it. The next find will light up your world. Get it? It turned out to be a light bulb from the turn of the century. Surprisingly, many people in cities around 120 years ago actually had electricity. As we dug deeper, we started finding older stuff. It's clear that the people that lived in the house in the 1890s had lots of kids because we found lots of dolls and toy pieces. We also found tons of other shards that I wasn't able to show on video. The hole started getting really deep and we were running out of time, so we decided we'd have to come back later. We think this hole is going to go down to about 12 feet deep, so let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Hopefully they had a metal detector with them, because after all these years, they could have probably ran turned into something life-changing financially.
Deal is that McGowan found out some really weird coincidences that so many of the rock stars had people in the military industrial, basically were military intelligence. And you think, well, what's the big deal? Oh, are these just rebelling people? He says, well, no, there's so many garage bands at the time in the 60s. How come a high proportion of them, of the successful musicians were from military intelligence?
Yeah.
The odds and probabilities are beyond the reality, right? Beyond the bell curve.
Yeah.
So this unraveling, he started to see there's a pattern that the hippie movement was basically an intelligence operation. Okay, the intelligent rock stars, and then part of this discovery was this lab here. Now, this lab apparently was nestled in the hills. I guess he found out so many rock stars lived here, and I think this was the real kicker for him, is when he found out that this was here. So he put the two and two together, that the rock stars are part of intelligence. They lived in these hills as a means of secrecy.
Yeah.
And as part of the secrecy of these hills, this is part of the military intelligence complex. So we had military intelligence children and a military intelligence facility. Now, apparently, this thing was so self-contained, you could, from start to finish, start a movie and process a whole movie. All the facilities were here to do so.
Really? Like Hollywood's quality movie?
Hollywood self-contained set. So they have the secrecy. People like Walt Disney, Marilyn Monroe had clearance passes on here.
Wow, Walt Disney. Can we see how big this place is? Is there any more beyond this?
I think it's an acre or two in floor area. What's that? Not enough. There's some people who think we're suspicious.
Okay, come down.
Okay, come on down. Driven to the hill, and now it's owned by an actor.
Oh, this is privately owned now?
This is privately
This still
owned.
says Air Force Base.
Yeah,
I
know.
I wonder how big it is. Like if there's more that we can't see.
You know what? We can put people's links to it, but you can see the windows right up against the top there.
Oh yeah.
There's that. And it's kind of like 40s. Yeah. See, even there's a radioactive site.
Yeah. When was it built? Do you know?
I don't know, Brian. We'll just
Probably 1940s.
Yeah, let's just not get into too many details. Let's just video it.
I think weren't the nuclear explosions from?
I think they said they did.
They did the film editing here.
Film editing for nuclear explosions, which.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. So they could have done all of that here.
That's what I'm saying. That's the.
Is this still the complex here?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's quite a big
Well,
spread.
that's what I'm saying. All this high fencing is the. You see, there's more buildings.
Yeah.
There. You see, it's a fairly large complex.
So I wonder what it means if it's privately owned today. Is it like a house?
Well,
I wonder what they're using it
basically
for.
what it means is the military, I think, closed it down in the 80s. Sorry, in the 60s, I think.
So they probably just sold it.
Yeah, they just sold it. No, there's a guy named Jared Leto that apparently owns it. So.
Interesting. So I guess they didn't need it anymore, so they sold it.
Yeah.
But they took all their secrecy equipment with them.
Yeah. So maybe we can. Stop, Brian. This is private driveway. We better not get into this part.
Okay.
Now. But as you can see, it's a fairly big complex. It's spread out. I don't know how many acres. Like I said, we maybe throw you some links about how you can see the four sides of it very clear. I found a really good one today, and it's a very interesting history. You would never have known what it was until Mr. McGowan and others started to put two and two together.
Yeah.
And say it's all part of the mystery of this world.
Without seeing that Air Force banner, I would have no clue this was once a military base. Now it kind of looks like a dilapidated mansion.
Always thought that Michael Jackson's father wasn't human.
I'm not sure about the non-human theory, but he looks nothing like MJ.
This man must have a death wish. This right here is an animal that you absolutely never want to touch. This is a TikTok video that I was tagged in where these people found a very strange looking fish that kind of resembles a face. This guy ends up touching the mouth of the fish and the fish retaliates and the guy backs off. This fish right here is a very famous venomous fish known as a stonefish. These guys have earned their name from the simple fact that they resemble a stone when they're on the ocean floor. As you can see right here, this camouflage is top notch. If you weren't paying attention or looking for a stonefish, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and a rock. Stonefish are most dangerous when you can't see them and accidentally step on them. And this is because of these spines right here that inject potentially deadly venom into your foot. These spines are pressure activated and there's venom glands at the base that pump the venom into whatever it's stuck into. If a stonefish sting isn't treated in time, then it will cause death.
At the very least, getting stung by this is going to be one of the most painful experiences that you've ever had.
A quick touch of that fish may lead to forever and a day in the ER.
Do you remember the monoliths back from 2020? There was the one that was found in Utah, and then one appeared in Romania, and then one showed up in California. A fourth one showed up in Las Vegas. And then after the Las Vegas one was the one in Great Britain. Those ones were the ones that got the most publicity, but there was another one found in New Mexico and in Canada, but there are even more than just these ones. And I know there was a YouTube group who said that they were the ones that built the monoliths and put them there. And then another group of artists came forward and said they were the ones who put the monoliths there. And it just seemed like everybody wanted to be responsible for the monoliths. And out of nowhere, the monoliths just vanished. It seems like there's hella people that stepped forward and said it was them and claimed responsibility, and multiple people had proof that they were the ones building them. I thought it was super weird when I was Googling it and trying to find any information, and it said 2016. Like, it was 2020, and then created in 2016. Any other information I tried to search for, it said that there was no answers. Like, something went wrong, something went wrong, something went wrong. So I'm like, what went wrong? Am I missing something, or is there something weird going on?
I'm not sure what would cause a monolith to appear and disappear out of nowhere, but I doubt construction companies can work that fast.
Blow your mind again. Ready?
Yeah, let me hear.
Check this out. Disney. Do you know why Disney characters wear gloves?
No. Why?
Check this out. The gloves Disney characters wear,
Yeah.
it's resemblance to
Disney characters don't have gloves on, bro.
What are you talking about? Disney characters don't have gloves.
Like, what do you mean? Like the princesses?
No, look at Mickey.
Oh, okay.
Mickey,
Who else?
Goofy, whoever's in that crew.
Okay, so
they
just
wear
that
gloves. They
crew.
wear gloves.
Okay.
Right? You know why?
Why?
Watch this.
Why? Why do they wear gloves? They're all murderers.
Check this shit out.
They're mass murderers.
Boom. Okay.
I see.
So you're familiar with those gloves, right?
Yeah.
Mickey's wearing those gloves. It has like the 3 lines on it.
The infamous.
Yeah, the infamous gloves. Interesting. Why those gloves and why those 3 lines?
Okay.
Check this out. These gloves are the same gloves of the Freemasons.
No!
Of the Freemasons, bro.
No.
Crazy.
No
Crazy.
way.
That's why Mickey and all those random characters on Disney, fam, they all wear those gloves, bruh.
No.
Look at it. Those are the Freemason gloves. That's why they have the 3 lines on it. Specifically, those 3 lines. Where have we ever seen gloves with those 3 lines?
No.
Ever. It's not even like a regular thing. They're literally Freemason gloves.
That's
crazy. Crazy.
No, that
Right?
blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Considering the majority of cartoons have a strong influence by the elites, the correlation between Mickey's gloves and the Masons is not far-fetched.
Secret doors were hidden in plain sight. This is proof.
Oh, we got them now. What are they going to say about this now? Even strangers, what nearby.
Unless those guys build those tunnels or have intel of their location, I'm not sure how you can pinpoint doors and passageways in the middle of a mountain.
Disney just got completely exposed. Okay, so we all know how Disney is known for all their classic movies. Well, what if I told you every single one of these movies is a copy and paste of another one? Disney literally recycles animation from other movies and then change little things like characters and setting. Just watch this video and let me know what you think. Because after watching this video, I want to go back and rewatch all the Disney movies just to see which movies recycled each other.
I'm not sure when the Winnie the Pooh and the Jungle Book episodes came out, but I guess back then being creative and innovative was not in Disney's repertoire. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me. Now that I have more time on my hands, I'm going to try to post at least twice a week, maybe more. Before you leave, don't forget to sub up, but in the meantime, be good, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.